Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Bet David. Lovely to see people here in person. Also welcome to those who are watching us online. We start our service on page 118. The candle lighting will be done by Lydia Kruger.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. The width. Done. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu l'adnikneh shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. And before we continue with the service, I'm going to read the prayer on page 243 in the middle. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the furthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. As the fish gives himself to the sea, as the bird gives herself to the air, so may we give ourselves to you. And we will continue on page 130. Ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim, asher b'yodo mechkarei aretz v'toafot harim lo, asher lo hayam v'hu asahu v'yabesh et yadav yetzaru, bo'u nishtachave v'nichra'a nevracha lifnei Adonai osenu, ki hu Eloheinu v'anachnu am marito v'tzon yado, hayom im b'kolo tishma'u. We continue on page 133 at the top. The Eternal One is sovereign. Let the earth exult, the many islands rejoice. Dense clouds are around God. Righteousness and justice are the base of God's throne. O you who love God, hate evil. God, guard the lives of your loyal ones, saving them from the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in the eternal and acclaim God's holy name. I'm jumping again, page 135. Adonai malach yigzu amim, yeshev kruvim tanut haaretz, Adonai b'tzion gadol, v'ramhu al kol ha'amim. Yodu shimcha gadol v'nora, kadosh hu. Mighty ruler who loves justice, it was you who established equity, you who worked righteous judgment in Jacob. Exalt the eternal our God and bow down to God's footstool. God is holy. We continue, page Psalm 29, page 136. Ascribe to the Eternal One, O divine beings. Ascribe to God glory and strength. Ascribe to the Eternal One the glory of God's name. Bow down to God, majestic in holiness. The voice of God is over the waters. The God of glory thunders, the Eternal One over the mighty waters. The voice of God is power. The voice of God is majesty. The voice of God breaks cedars. The Eternal One shatters the cedars of Lebanon. God makes Lebanon skip like a calf, Syrian like a young wild ox. Kol Adonai chotzev la'avot esh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yachalel eyalot v'yechasof ya'arot, uv'hechalo kulo mer kavod. Adonai lamabul yashav, v'yeshev Adonai melech le'olam. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, may God grant strength to our people. Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. May God grant our people peace. We continue with Lecha Dodi, which is on page 138.
Amor,
And just as we've greeted the Shabbat bride who symbolically came through the door, let's take a few moments to just greet each other, meet people you haven't met, and say hello to people you know. Thank you, people. You can be seated. We're going to continue with the service on page 140. Mitzmo shir lo yom ha-Shabbat, tov lo dot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, l'hagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha b'leilot. You have gladdened me by your deeds, O God. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Eternal One. How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. And read along together with me, the English that's indented. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the Eternal One's house, they flourish in our God's courts. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that God is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Adonai malach geut lavesh, lavesh Adonai oz hitazah, aftikon tevel baltimot, nachon kisacha ma'ad, ma'olam ata. Nasu naharot Adonai, nasu naharot kolam, yesu naharot dochyam, mikalot mayim rabim, adirim mishbereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, edotechenem nu ma'od, levet karnaba kodesh, Adonai la'orech yamim. We come now to the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. If you're able to, please rise. And this is like a huge punctuation mark within the service. It's a division that's marked.
Tushbachata v'nechemata
Seated, and we'll continue on page 148. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'dvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma potech she'arim. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbenu uvkumenu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei toratcha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'orech yamenu, u'vahem negeh yomam v'layla, v'havatcha al tasim imenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. And we come now to the Shema on page 152. If you're able to, please rise. Page 154. This evening, let's read the English instead of the Hebrew. And please read along with me. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Laman tizkaru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim lelohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liyot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem emet. Please be seated. Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך רעום ענך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי
ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, va'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim. Page 163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. And we come now to the central pillar of our service, which is the Amidah on page 164. Once again, I'm asking you please to rise.
וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש, you are holy, ושמך קדוש, your name is holy, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע, and those who are holy praise you every day. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Page 172. אתה קידשת את יום השביעי לשמך, תכלית מעשה שמיים וארץ, וברכתו מכל הימים וקידשתו מכל הזמנים, וכן כתוב בתורתך. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and ceased on the seventh day from all the work that had been done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God ceased from making all the work of creation.
Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, סבנו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, ותהל ליבנו לעובדך. ואנוכו בישראל מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Page 174. Ratzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael utfilatam ba'ava tekabel uti leratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha el karov lechol korav pnei el avadecha v'chonenu shvoch ruchacha aleinu v'techazena einenu v'shuvcha letzion barachamim baruch ata Adonai hamachazir shchinato letzion. Page 176. Modim anachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu leolam va'ed. God of goodness, we are grateful for your many bounties, for the protecting care with which your love shelters us, for the knowledge that wherever we are in your presence. May your teachings enrich our lives and challenge us to give evidence of our devotion. May our words and our deeds hallow your name and make us worthy of your blessings.
ועל כולם, ועל כולם,
מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד. יודו חסרה ויעללו באמת האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלע ועל כולם יתברך ויקרומם יתברך ויקרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha. Your name is goodness. Ulcha na'eh lehodot. And you are worthy of thanksgiving. Page 179. I'm reading at the bottom. The prayer for peace is so important, specifically in the world today. We cannot have enough peace, and hopefully God will bless us with peace. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. Please be seated, and let's take a few moments for our silent meditations. Ve'imru Amen. Thank you to the choir. Beautiful rendition. This evening we don't have Rabbi Shimon physically with us. He's in Eastern Europe getting his visa sorted, but he's very kindly pre-recorded a sermon that we're going to be listening to now. So, Rabbi Shimon.
In the Japanese martial art of Aikido, there is a fascinating principle at play, the redirection of energy. Rather than meeting the force of an attacker head-on with resistance, Aikido practitioners skillfully redirect the energy of the attacker, turning their aggression into a force that works in their favor. As we have established before, it's not just the movements of our body, not just our actions, but also our words of our mouths, do have power and energy. Some can wound, frighten, repel, and some, on the contrary, heal wounds, inspire, and unite us. In life, we sometimes encounter injustice to ourselves. Often, it is exactly the verbal violence. People threaten us or curse us, aiming to weaken our resolve and instill insecurity within us to achieve their goals. Is there any Aikido against being treated unfairly? As we read the double portion, Hukat Balak, this Shabbat we come across one of the Torah's most captivating stories, shedding light on transforming the negative energy in such cases. The Israelites, after being denied passage through Moab, emerged victorious in battles against kings of Sichon and Bashan and encamped near Jericho on the borders of Eretz Israel. It is at this point that Balak, the new king of Moab, fearing our might, sought to weaken us by calling upon the prophet Bil'am to curse Israel. However, despite his intentions to harm, Bil'am's attempts to curse the Israelites were unexpectedly transformed into blessings against his will. The words of his failed curse have become a part of our tradition. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. Doesn't sound like a curse. The book of Dvarim tells us, and there was no prophet like Moses in Israel anymore. However, the Midrash enlightens us by revealing that there was indeed one prophet among the nations who possessed similar attributes. Exactly Bil'am. Bil'am, like Moses, understood the relationship between the Creator and the Jewish people and had direct communication in God. We read it in the chapter. Yet, there was a stark contrast between the two. The Talmud asserts that despite his lofty spiritual level, Bil'am's character and behavior were repugnant, rightfully earning him the title of a villain. How can we reconcile the paradox of a prophet choosing to act against reason and the will of God, despite possessing an understanding of good and evil, as well as divine reward and punishment? Just as understanding does not mean compliance, merely being a highly spiritual person or even a prophet does not guarantee righteousness in practice. Sadly, very often in life we encounter individuals akin to Bilam in our own lives, respected or famous, powerful and influential, boasting great knowledge or spiritual prowess, yet their deeds and intentions reveal their insincerity. They don't correspond. So should we fear those who threaten, curse, or harm us, aiming to weaken our resolve and instill insecurity within us? The teaching of Tractate Avot provides us with guidance. It teaches that three components shape the spiritual destiny of all humans: those who possess an unkind eye, a haughty spirit, and a broad appetite align themselves with the disciples of the wicked Bil'am. Conversely, embodying qualities such as a kind eye, a humble spirit, and a small appetite aligns us with the disciples of our forefather Abraham. Understanding this empowers us to overcome the disciples of Bil'am, even if they were prophets. We need not to fear them, but rather pity them, to act with compassion. To counteract their powerful curses, all it takes is for us to refrain from joining their camp, to act with more kindness, which is a kind eye, to act with a humble spirit, referring to modesty, and a small appetite, which is moderation of our desires and wishes. To act better than they do. The greatest challenge here lies in managing our emotions and resisting the urge to reciprocate evil with evil. Yet, when we can do so, we demonstrate our true understanding and belief in God. This places us on the side of the righteous, drawing divine wisdom and power that brings healing, harmony, and redemption to the world. In a way, this is Jewish energy Aikido. In this way, addressed to us, even the most potent curses like those of Bil'am transform into blessings for us. May the fear of our worst opponents always turn into compassion, and our fear be only of God. Greetings from Moscow, and Shabbat Shalom to you all.
Thank you to Rabbi Shimon, all the way from Moscow, which I don't think many of us would want to be there. We come now to Aleinu, which is on page 586, and I'm calling up as Ark Opener Norman Baruch and Ark Closer Edmund Baruch. Page 586, please rise. Please remain standing, and we will continue on page 593 with reading number 3. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it's radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades or is extinguished. Its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full, but as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we must not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. And this Shabbat, we remember from Bet David, Mark and Myra Carroll, parents of Glynis Canar, Jeff Carroll, cousin of Glynis Canar, Benny Jacobs, father of Linda Rubin, Anthony Poe, brother of John Paul, Solomon Milner, uncle of Eric Milner, Morris Kruger, father of Arthur Kruger, Clifford Beder, brother of Michael Beder, Anne Sentner, grandmother of Dean Ormsby, Sholem Kay, father of Jennifer Berold, Louis Milner, son-in-law of Tina Miller, Augusta Lillian Rubin, mother of Gail Regalia and grandmother of Lauren Kupritz, and Susan Sinek, mother of Mike Sinek. From Bet Menorah in Pretoria, we remember Len Klein, brother of Rona Leaf and uncle of Giddy Leaf, Jean Capelus, mother of Mark Capelus, Greta Macaskill, mother of Don Macaskill, Cecily Hurwitz, mother of Yoma and Wilfred Hurwitz, and those who passed away recently. Maria Lyon, mourned by her son John, daughter Annie, and granddaughters Jenna Bill Roberts and Megan Lyon, and Charles Lurie, brother of Steve Lurie. And if anyone has a name that they'd like to call out, I'm going to start from this side. Please call if you have a name. We also remember all those who have lost their lives in wars and those who have no one to remember them. The Mourner's Kaddish will be found on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'omad ivrach ruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olomei umaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithada v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha berichu. Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran b'oma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated, and we have congregational announcements by Ian. Thank you, Ian. There we go.
We thank you all for joining us here, and those people, of course, who joined us online as well. The Cheder classes tomorrow will be starting at 8:20 a.m. And please note that will be the final class before the mid-year recess. Cheder classes resume on Shabbat morning on the 22nd of July. We request congregants advise the office of any changes to their personal details, phone numbers, physical addresses, or emails, so that we can be in touch with everyone. And if any of you would not wish to be on the WhatsApp group, which we're going to use as our form of communication because it's more instant and more comprehensive, please let us know. Otherwise, we're going to presume that you wish to be part of the group. If anybody wants to sponsor a Shabbat service, monthly bracha, or a birthday, please, to celebrate anything at all, please let the congregational office, who is standing over there, let her know about this, and she'll take care of the rest. And Rabbi Shimon invites all congregants to chat with him on his schedule and make a scheduled appointment with him, which is there's a QR code on the Adkan, and he looks forward to talking to you. He'll also be trying to contact you as well, so he remains in touch with us even though he's away. And please join us for Kiddush after the Yigdal, and you'll find the Yigdal on page 628.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, ימצא באמת אל מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין עוד ימות הגוף ואינו הגוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו. קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון בין ראשית לראשיתו. הינו אדון עולם לכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו. שפר נבואתו נתנו, אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד, נביא ומביט את תמונתו. תמת נתן לעמו האל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו. לא יחל יפעל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו. צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו. גומל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרשעתו. ישלח לקץ ימים על כל בשר רוחו, לפדות מחכה קץ ישועתו. חיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך עד שם תהילתו. חיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך עד שם תהילתו.
Thank you again. Thank you to the choir, the musicians, and the technical desk. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat